everybody, it's Friday, and I'm glad you're here with me today. We've been looking at the ways to store up treasures in heaven instead of storing up treasures on earth. And because Jesus said that it's better for us to store up treasures in heaven than in earth. And of course, storing up treasures in earth means, money and possessions and power and influence and all those things that to God are not all that important. Storing up treasures in heaven, however, is different. And it doesn't look great. It doesn't always look good on earth because it's not the way the world works. So yesterday we talked about the fact that in order to store up treasure in heaven, you have to start with a new heart. And the only way to get a new heart is if God gives you one. And that all starts in your baptism and continues throughout your whole life. But God is constantly working at giving you a new heart. Then, today, we want to talk about another way to store up treasures in heaven. And that is to, I'm looking at my list over here, to help the poor and those in need. In other words, just a whole heart of helping others. Instead of this, because our sin is that the sin is the self turned in on itself. And so, by contrast, anything that turns you away from yourself to others is more than likely in line with God. So helping the poor and in need, that's all throughout the Bible, everywhere. And especially in the Old Testament, this is God's calling card to help the poor, the needy, the widow, the orphan, all those who can't help themselves. God often starts out by saying, I am the God of the poor. I am the God of the needy. I am the God of those who are on, that don't have things in life. So we know we're in line with God when we do that, especially if we do it without really anybody knowing it, or without making a big deal of it. Now, if you do help the poor and do things and you get noticed, well, Jesus says that's not the goal of helping others. Helping others is a reward in itself. I've said this before, but we took a lot of mission trips when I was in Dallas, Oregon, at my other church. In fact, we took a mission trip every year with the kids, and then we started taking some with adults. And the reason I love taking it with kids is because in helping others, they found out who they were. Kids don't find out who they are by diving into themselves and feeling good about themselves. They find out who they are by helping others, because then they get in line with what God wants and what God has for them. And I saw kid after kid sort of come alive and realize, wow, this is pretty cool. So today, what I have to say to you is, in order to store up treasures in heaven, help those who can't help themselves. Give to those who can't help themselves. And be with those who cannot help themselves. And you will store up treasures in heaven. So this is our second Lenten devotion. I hope you have a great weekend and that everything is going well in your life and that God is with you. Take care.